Hello? Hello? Pum, 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 pum. You like the song? Yeah, it's a good song. We have a lot of good songs, actually. Do-dum, do-dum. Bum, 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 bum. Hello, Tutarel. Let me just see if we are ready. Are we ready? Yeah. Yes. We are. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello and welcome to another stream of Plane Shift. The game that we are trying to make since quite some time. But one day will be great, I tell you. One day. So, okay, the good news is that the problem of yesterday is actually solved. I also posted a small note on the video itself. Hello, Matuthalam. Hey, hey. I also posted a quick note on the actual video, which was this one, because I just want to see if anyone answered. I don't think so, but because I think that yesterday was a bit of a problem, but I solved it, so that's pretty good. I solved it, and yeah, no one answered. Okay, I hope someone read it. I mean, there was some people that were really trying to help, you know, yesterday and trying to fix this damn problem, and yup, at the end I found a solution, boys. I found a solution, and I mean, the solution was pretty much on the line of what I was thinking, right? But we had to do it for both the room 1 and the room 2. Yeah. But basically now we can have the rooms in any position and in any rotation and in any height that we want. Like this one can be lower, can be higher, I mean, whatever. And unless it was a dream, right? Unless it was a dream of mine, but I don't think so. And when I press 1, right? When I press 1, they are perfectly aligned. They are perfectly aligned, which is absolutely fantastic. I don't know about this thing though. I think it's wrong probably in the original.
Let's get to work.
Let's get to work. I'm working already. What are you doing? You working or no? You doing stuff? Or... yeah, the torch is mispositioned. Thank you. It was I would say it was not easy. It was not easy. I had like an illumination at night and I said, ooh, that is the solution. And yeah, it's fixed. Now the fact that you see these two things on the side is just because we don't have half walls exported. I think actually there were half walls, but let me see. I think we had half walls. Yeah, exactly. There's FP2 whatever half wall, so we can migrate it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know if you remember, but we created this project from the other dungeon maker. And actually the problem is that it was in Unreal Engine 5.3. So I will have any way to redo this project completely on our release, but it's fine. I think it's fairly easy. Also, I want to convert the blueprints into C++ because I think that these operations needs to be fairly quick, right? And so yeah. So let's transform these things into half walls. We changed the pivot slightly. Yeah, but you see that if we change them to half walls, is then...
And his work has just begun.
Just begun, you say, huh? Just begun, you say. Okay, I mean, it's fine. I mean, I can do this all day, you know? I can do this all day! And now how to install traps and secret places in all the procedural dungeons. Yeah, well, that will be a bit in the future, but now we need to go from room 1 to room 2, from room 2 to room 3, from room 3.
All day.
Can do this all day, exactly. I would like to, actually. I mean, it would be fun to do it all day, but yeah. So okay, so now we need to think, okay? Now we need to think, because now we did the easy, well, not the easy. I think we did the hard part. Actually, I think we did the hard part. I think now is easier to move forward, because the point is I will decide the starting point, right? And I will say from this point, right? From this point, I want to generate my dungeon, right? And at the beginning, there will be nothing, I guess. At the beginning, I think there will be just a placeholder. I think there will be just a placeholder. So I think we need a placeholder object, right? You know what I'm thinking though? If I continue to do it in 5.3, my life will become a bit harder, because then I have to migrate more and more stuff. So I think that probably now is a good time to switch back to our current release. Not to do it in our project, because they will take too much time, but at least to do it in the right Unreal Engine release. Yeah, I think, guys, I think we have to do it. It's a bit annoying, but we have to do it. So, because otherwise, everything I create then is not compatible, right? And it would be a bigger waste of time. So, I think that what we can do, we can we can create a new dungeon generator 4, which is actually in the right release. I would strongly suggest we do that. Now, I think that if I migrate now from this to there, it will not work, right? So I will have to recreate manually the stuff, which is fairly annoying, but it's not much stuff. It's not much stuff. I think the majority of the blueprint we can just copy the content, and we just have to create a game mode, a test map, and just assign the game mode. I mean, there are just few things, so it's not that crazy. Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. It's better now than later, guys. It's better now than later. It's really better now than later. So let's call it Dungeon Gen 4, right? Which is our fourth incarnation of that. And we can go third person project. What does Italy think of Canada, people? I think Canada is one of the destinations for vacations. Actually, myself, I've been there in vacation one time. Yeah, I think one time. And yeah, I think it's seen. Canada is seen as a very nice natural place. I don't know if Italian people know about also the Canadian people. I think they see Canada more as a nature, right? So a lot of beautiful sceneries and snow and trees and animals and stuff. So I've been in Vancouver Island. I've been in Vancouver Island I've been so I arrived, I don't remember if I arrived I think probably I arrived Seattle, and then I went up, and then I went Vancouver. I don't know if I still have the trip, but then I was with a rented car, and so I went with the car along this road, and then I also tried to go in a bit. I don't remember how much, but I think I went kind of in a bit. But the problem is that the roads are basically stopping here, so you cannot really go in unless you have a kind of an off-road car, right? And then I don't remember if here or here I went by boat, by canoe, right? Like this. No. Like this, yeah. Like this. And I went there and I saw the eagles, and I saw the these guys, and I listened to the sound of these guys under the water, and I slept one night in the woods in a tent, and it was very nice. It was really, I would do it again, I would say. It's one of the probably is one of the few things that I would say I can do twice, right? Because usually doing twice is usually something that you don't do, right? Because you say, okay, if I take a plane, you know, for thousands of kilometers, maybe I want to do something that I never did, right? Which makes sense. And yeah, so what I will do, I will that's the most beautiful part of Canada. You went by my house. You went by you mean by, not by my house, as I know you take over the boat. Yeah, maybe you live close to there. Canada's the worst food restaurants. Yeah, I don't remember food as being one of the highlights. Yeah, I would say. But you know, as an Italian, I think I'm a bit biased on that. I don't remember the food being bad. I just don't remember the food being particularly good as well. So I don't remember the food actually. I just remember that on the canoe you had a very small amount of space, and so you could bring only the absolute minimum. But it was a very nice trip, I would say. Okay, I'm keeping on my right screen. I'm keeping on my right screen this side, the screen that you don't see, but there is a screen here on the right, right? On my right screen, the 5.3 project, and I will try to replicate. And I will try to replicate whatever we have from that to this, right? So the first thing I did, I created a new game mode. Yep, I created a new game mode. My gen game mode, and in this game mode we have set the pawn, but I don't have the pawn yet, so actually I think I had to create the pawn first. So I'm going to create a new blueprint derived from default pawn actually. Default pawn is a bit more than pawn. Because just pawn cannot move, but default pawn, my gen pawn, while that one can. So the first thing we want to do on the game mode is to go in the settings and set the pawn to my gen pawn. Yeah, exactly. So we do that. So now we are using our own pawn, and then I need to set the I need to set what? I need to set in my level, right, the connection with the game mode. So we will override the game mode, right? And then so we have our pawn, and then let me see if we have something in the blueprint. I don't think we have anything in the blueprint, but we have something inside the pawn. Yes, actually. Okay, so here is where we need to see if we can actually copy stuff or not, but I hope we can. So I will try to copy. First I need to copy the function. So I want find rotation and translation. This is inside a pawn. Yep. So I will try to paste. Fantastic. So this one basically went through without any issue. which is good. So we just copied it as it is. It seems here to have no errors, which is beautiful. Then in the main event graph, what do we have? We have this, and I will try to copy this as well. And this should also go through, hopefully without any issues. Let me see. Fantastic. So that also copied from the 2 releases with no problem. And then yeah, then now the problem are the rooms, because the problem are the rooms, because we don't have those rooms in. But the good news is that at least the basic pieces, right, I have them. So maybe let me select all the pieces. Let me see all the pieces. Okay, so under floor we need base team 2, base 2, this 3. So this 3 we can migrate. And we can migrate into our new Dungeon 4 project. Right? Done. Then under meshes, we have a doorway 02. Doorway 02 connection. So this guy. I think I have to select them one by one. I think is the quickest. So that guy, then the half wall half, this guy. Okay, then I think I want to create a few more pieces. Then the wall 01. Wall 01. Which one is this? This. Okay. Okay, so what else we need? We need the torch. Ah, yes, we need the torch. So there is a torch. I mean, I'm putting them there just that we have something visually appealing, but in reality, I could do it with you know, with boxes and spheres. But I mean, since we spend time, you know, on this, I think it's good that at least we have some nice things to look at. I think that's pretty much what we needed. So now now we need the 2 rooms. Now we need the 2 rooms, yeah. So we need 2 rooms. We can recreate the rooms. So the rooms are actually base actors. And this will be room 1. Now it's a bit annoying because we have to recreate it completely, right, from scratch. But you know what I want to have? I want to have some walls, some 2x2 and some 3x2, also in terms of walls, right? So let's do it quickly in Blender. So if we export, yeah, we can export it here, it's the same, or I think we were using probably PS Temp 4. Yeah, let's go PS Temp 4. World 01. World 01. And this one we will do it. Also, we will import it also in our main project. So these are additional pieces that we may use. And just to say, because I don't like the fact that we have, you know, so many meshes just for a wall. I think it's kind of stupid. So I don't want it. For some reason we don't have the proper atlas. I think because it was called Atlas 03. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, okay, perfect. So so if this wall is centered or not, I don't think it makes any difference. The fact that this is, but we said that we cannot tile, right? We cannot tile. Correct, because this is oh, by the way, this is already tiled vertically. Wow, didn't realize it was the case, but it is. Yes, it is. It's already tiled vertically, but it's fine. So I think we can just select everything and duplicate on the X, moving it by 6, right? And this will make it exactly in the same spot. I don't know why there is this weird sharp line, but fine. Oh, they are empty at the bottom. I didn't know. Okay, fine. In theory, we also don't need the top, but it's fine. We can merge by distance. We will remove 6 vertices. Yes, correct. And then we just need to get rid of the middle faces without selecting these faces. Right? So now it's clean. So this will be our 3x2. Sorry, our 2x2, 2x1. I don't want to call it, but let's call it 2x1. I think 2x1. I don't know, 2x1. Probably 2x1. 2x1, right? This will be our wall 01 2x1. And then I will do the same, but with, I mean, it's the same. I can copy this or I can copy that. It's exactly the same. So we will duplicate on the X -6. And here we also have to clean up. These faces, right? And this will be the 3x2. 3x1. 3x1. Okay. So let's import these two guys in our main project. I think I will expand this set significantly in the future. I'm already thinking to, you know, different things that I need, but it's fine. For now, we can go like this. Is the music too loud or what? Is the music too loud? Maybe a bit. Hello, Marcelo. Yeah, it worked at the end. It worked at the end. It was a bit of a pain, but at the end, the idea of the adjustment of the angle was correct, and I just had to do it for both pieces using the angle of the first room for both, which is a bit weird, but this is what works, right? If you ask me exactly why it works, I'm not that sure, but it definitely works. I tried with different situations and it really seems to work okay. I think I have an idea of why it works, but not 100% sure.
Well, the objective is find the root of the problem.
Exactly.
Work to get close to it.
Yeah.
And then eradicate it.
That is what we did. That is what we did it. That is what we did. Okay, so now we have a 3x1 and we also have a 2x1, so we can be a bit more light when we create the houses so that they don't have a million meshes, right? And it's probably nicer. We will use the base mesh as the base. We will migrate these pieces also to our other project because again we are working on a separate project, right? Just to I don't know why sometimes it's not adding stuff to Subversion. I mean, why? Why this one was not added for addition? It's a bit weird. No, because if it happens, then means that the Linux people or the Mac people don't get all the pieces. Because the Windows, I'm building it from this machine, but all the others, you know. Okay, so let's try to build quickly one room. If it works, I will close the 5.3 project, right? Let me just copy what I did. Do you think I can copy between? Let me try. I'm doing this. This is the 5.3 project. I'm going to copy here. I know it's a very bad idea. And I'm going to paste here in 5.1. Well, it did the static mesh though. He copied the... Yeah, he copied this piece. This piece is actually correct. Okay. Can I copy all the rest? Let me see. If I select everything and copy. This is 5.3, yeah, guys. And I'm pasting in 5.1. Wow. Yeah, there's only one problem, that all of this is not a child of but it's easy, I can do this. Okay, so this one is basically the floor. It worked! So we basically copied the whole room. Only the torch didn't get... because the particle system, I think that it does not exist. Ah, yes, I didn't mirror the flames. The flames I didn't mirror. Yeah, but it was very easy. That was actually very easy. Flame 01. Okay, let's migrate this one to this, yes. Fantastic. And then from 5.3 we copy this and we paste it in 5.1 under this. Yeah, it doesn't like too much the father child, but this is basically our room, right? The recreated. For some reason, the position of this torch is a bit strange, but that's fine. Yeah, but this saves us quite some time, huh? Seems that the torch I should be aligned with the... Yeah, it is. It is. I don't know about the light. It's okay. It's exactly where I placed it. Okay, two things we need. We need also the connections. The connections are already in place. Fantastic. One connection and two connection. Do they have the tags already? Wow, they also have the tags. So everything has been copied properly. Fantastic. The only thing that we can do now is to substitute these two walls, because actually we don't want two walls. We want one wall only of type 2x1. Boom. And on this side, we don't want these three walls. We want only one. Oops, I think I deleted something that I should have not deleted. What? This one was duplicated? Seems that one wall was duplicated actually. Anyway. So we'll substitute this wall with 3x2, 3x1. Boom. And we will substitute this wall with... let me just see, there is no... with 2x1. Right? So we just simplified the... We just simplified the meshes quite a bit. Let me maybe rename them so we know what we are, so that they have proper name. Because this one we can import in our project, because here we are on the right release, right? So wall 4 or wall 5? Wall 4. Okay. So now everything should have a reasonable name. Floor, roof. No. Can I? No. Okay, fine. Then we have the torch, we have the light, and we have our two connections. Okay. Okay, so this room is basically done. This room is done. Fantastic. You see a bit of Z fighting here, because but this is anyway in a place that the player will never see, right? So we don't worry about this because it's invisible. Hello, Fanner. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know if I can send you. Let me see. I don't remember what was the name. No, probably I cannot do it. This. You see, I can send you kisses. You see? But they stick only to the... So if I do it like this, it's not very visible because it's below my face. Okay. 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 So... So this is good. I think room 1 pretty much we have it done, right? So now let's do room number 2. And then we will try. So I take room number 2. So we make another actor, and this will be room 2. And if we can, I will just copy again everything. So we paste the floor, right? So this becomes the floor. And then we copy pretty much everything else. Ay, something happened. Let me save. My Unreal Engine 3.5.3 is locked. I don't know why. But it is locked. It's true that I have 3 different editors open at the moment. But yeah, it's not responding. He's not responding. I mean, we can just kill him and reopen it anyway. It's not. I don't know which one is it. Actually, here it looks like responding, but is dungeon? Yeah, it's this one. You see, not responding. But I don't think we need it anymore. We just need to clone room number 2, and you know what? I don't need it anymore. I think we can kill it, and we can just copy from the other room, and that's it. Or no? Well, there were a few things. No, maybe let me restart. It's quicker to copy. It's quicker to copy. So I will relaunch it. And then we can close it. Is it starting 5.3 or I think it should, right? It's not showing that, but oh no, it is showing just below this. Yeah, 5.3. Okay, so let's open room 2 and let's copy from there. So I will just copy everything that is below this and paste it in my other project. Boom, and then I make it a child of floor. I think I prefer to have it as a child of the floor so that we don't... this time he copied everything perfectly. Okay, nice. So here also we can use the same trick of the single wall instead of double wall, right? So we can use the 2x1, and we can use again the... I'm just checking if there are no duplicated walls, but seems not. Use the 2x1, and here also we use the 2x1 because it is basically a square room. Okay, it was on the other side. Okay, fantastic. So we also have room 2. He has the connection, right? And so also room 2 is built. Good. So I think we can close this project because we don't need it anymore. Hopefully, I don't know. Do you think it will work immediately? We're missing the lights. We are missing the player start. Okay, we're missing a few things. Yeah. So we need to put at least wait. In our dungeon level, we need to put a directional light. We need to have a player start, and we need to have our 2 rooms, right, in it. Hopefully not on top of the player start. Let me max FPS because I see it is already okay. So room 2, room 1 and room 2, right? Okay, now if I start, what happens? Okay, now it should be as previous, and if I press 1, nothing happens because yeah, nothing happens because we have actually flagged these 2 rooms with a tag to find them as room 1 and room 2. I don't know if the tags are case sensitive. I have no idea. Boom. Aha. Okay, so we have it replicated properly in I don't see anything. Kind of weird. We have it replicated properly. Why this light is not visible? It's kind of strange, huh? 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 There is something wrong. There is something wrong. Possible. Let me just do a few changes to the light. No, okay, it's good. I don't know why it was all black before. It's kind of strange. Maybe I was looking at the wall like this. Yeah, maybe it was looking. Maybe I was looking at the wall like that, and it was eye adapting. Very possible. Okay, let me just move the spawn point in a location that is more. That is nicer. Okay, so now we spawn there. What? Yeah, I want to spawn there, but I also want to look in that direction if possible. Okay, so now we spawn pretty much in the right point. I just would like to make it maybe a bit more up and a bit more back. Yes, so that I can do poof. Okay. Now let's try the case of rotations, which is the one that made us mad yesterday for so much. So we test the rotations and we go and we do boom, and this thing should be in the right place. Right? Yeah, it is exactly where it should be. Okay, so we successfully replicated the same scenario, right? With 5.1, which is actually compatible with our current game. So whatever we want to do, we can bring it back to our project. That's great. So we can continue from here. So the first thing I want to do, I want to say that I will have a starting position, right? A starting actor. So I think we need to create a new actor And this can really be an empty actor. That is dungeon generation start, right? Dungeon generation start. And I don't think that this guy really needs anything, right? I think it's just an empty thing. If we want, we could have I think it can be like this, actually. Yeah, I think it can be a completely empty. Can take the same location of this guy, right? Okay, and now we need to think a bit, right? Because we need to think a bit. Because the question is, how are we going to generate at the beginning, right, our dungeon? Because we actually start from 0, right? There is nothing here. There is nothing here. We only have our start point, which is this guy. So we say we want to generate a dungeon from here. And the first thing we need to do, we need to have a list of rooms that are good for startup, right? And maybe not all rooms are good for startup. For example, there's one. Well, I mean, if you start here, yeah, but anyway, it's not good for. I think the start room should have at least 2 exits, right? So I think we need a way to specify. Oh yeah. So I think we need a way to specify which one are the rooms. Let me fix my face. That is kind of weird. Let me see if I can fix my face. I was closing the eyes, a bit weird. So we have a number of rooms that can be used as start. Now, do we want those rooms to be listed in the blueprint or... Yeah, I think so. I think we can have... I think we can have simply an array, right? On the dungeon generation start, right? Which, by the way, should be called dungeon generation start BP, right? Because all the ones that actually have a BP, we call them BP. So also the rooms, I think, should be called. Also the room should be called room 1, room 2, BP. But anyway, so I think we want to have a variable on this guy that is starting rooms, right? The only problem is, do you think that we need an interface or we need a superclass? I think an interface may be enough. I think we can create an interface. And the interface will be for all the rooms, or will be only for the starting rooms? I think for all the rooms. So we create a new interface, and we call it dungeon generation room interface. Dungeon generation room interface, and at the moment I think he has nothing, right? In the future, I mean, we will probably add some functions in the future, but at the moment it's just for me to have these rooms having the same class, right? And the only problem is that then when I cast it to that, I don't know. I need to, because I don't want to cast it, right? I really don't want to cast it. The only thing that we need to do is the get components, which I assume that if I cast my interface to actor, I can still do get components, right? Without any problem. So I think it should be fine. I think it should be fine. So we add to our room one a new interface. Where is that? Parent class. Interfaces here. Interfaces. So we go dungeon room interface. So now this room knows there is a room. And we do the same here. And we do the same. Where was that? And we do the same here. Okay. Okay. So now this one will be dungeon gen room interface, right? And it will be an array. What? And it will be an array, exactly. Okay. Nice. And we can already add here our rooms, right? We can already add room 1. No? Why not? Huh? I cannot. I cannot do it. Okay, so I cannot have here a value. Strange though. I cannot have I mean, I can have I can put actor, but I wanted to have the interface because maybe in the future I will call some functions on this, right? I mean, if I put actor, our room 1, I guess. Wait. What is happening? Starting rooms. Actor. Huh? Don't understand. Starting rooms is an actor array, right? is an actor object reference array. Yes. If I say plus, why I cannot select anything? Editing this value in a class default object is not allowed. Interesting. So meaning that I can only do it here. I can only do it here. Yeah, I can only do it here. Because that's yes. Sorry. Because is a reference to is an object reference while we need a class reference. Now the only problem of a class reference is that this will trigger preloading, but I think it's okay. So now I can say room 1, right? Yes, now I can say room 1. I see. Yeah. It's all fine. I mean, I don't know if this is the best solution, but it's one solution, right? It's one solution. So we are saying that we have a start of the dungeon that knows that there are 2 possible rooms available that he can use to spawn, right? And so now when we press 1, maybe one let's leave 1 second as it is, right? Let's create something else, a 2, right? So if I press 2, what I want to do, I want to find actors. I want to get all actors of class, right? Where the class is my dungeon generation start BP, exactly. And here I will get the only one that is in the level, right? If there is not one in the level, it can give you a message, right? An error message saying no. I mean, we can do it, but we can do is empty. I mean, obviously I will have at least one, but anyway, I think it's good to have anyway. So if it's empty, we just print something like no dungeon generator starting point, right? Okay, fine. But in theory that will never happen. And if it is false, we get this guy. And the first thing that we get out of this guy is our starting rooms, right? Get starting rooms. I think we get the length of this guy and we randomize one of the 2, right? So we want to in range. We want to randomize integer in range. Starting from 0 and going to length -1. -1 because it's starting from 0, right? The array is starting from 0. So we randomize one of the rooms. So pick one starting room, right? And then based on this, we just do a get, right? And we have our randomized starting room, which in our case will be or room 1 or room 2. How many let me see, how many simultaneous random dungeons do you think you might have? I think probably very few. At the moment, I'm thinking one. I'm thinking one. I'm thinking like I'm generating one and I leave it there for a few weeks and then I'm generating another. But we may decide, you know, that I mean everything can be combined, no, to tribes. I think in the long run, I would like to have the tribes, you know, collecting materials. Then I would like to have the tribes, you know, decide to build. And then I will have to have the tribes generate the dungeon, right? And then I would like to have the tribes store stuff in the dungeon. Now, I don't know if this is really... I don't know if this is really the way I will do it at the end, okay? So just take it with a grain of salt at the moment, but... I mean, it's possible that I will do it this way, or is possible that I will just spawn random ones. But you know, I am really big on a bit of realism, you know, in the game. So I want the game and the world to actually make sense. So spawning a wall dungeon is physically impossible in a real world, right? So I would like to have a concept that the dungeon is getting built by someone with some resources. I don't know if it's gonna take weeks, I don't know, but I would like some concept that the dungeon is not just coming out of thin air, right? But is built by someone. You will have a seed numbers, users share good ones. No, the users will not have the ability to choose which dungeon to generate, right? So we will generate the dungeon. So we will potentially generate dungeons offline, see the result, pick one, not in terms of seed, but in terms of saving the room's position. So we will save it and then we will load it into the game, I think. So we will save the dungeon and load it. And dungeons can be caves. Yeah, dungeons can be anything. I mean, at the moment we have this geometry, but I can put plants, you know, instead of walls. So it can be a forest, right? Can be a forest, can be an underground thing, can be a cave, can be anything. Can be a candy path. No? Labyrinth made of candies. Well, something like that. But better, okay? Something like this, but better. So yeah, it can be made of anything. It can be made of absolutely anything. You start to be interested, eh? You start to be interested, eh? I know. The big plan is coming finally. Okay. So now that I have my class, can I actually spawn an actor of class, right? So I can say, hey, please, can you spawn an actor? Can I spawn an actor of this class, right? I think it's gonna give him a random name, but that is pretty much okay. I may see an NPC knock out a wall and make a door. Yeah, that would be nice. I mean, it would be nice to see the NPC building it, actually. But maybe we will do it. Maybe we'll do it. I would like to see an NPC that is starting from the ground and is digging, and then is creating the first room, right? And then after some time is digging, bringing stone, and then is creating the second room, and then the third room, and then is populating it, right? And then is slowly populating it with materials, and all the players, you know, and all the players are just waiting around. So you have the NPC here, you know, building his dungeon, right? Room 1, room 2, room 3, room 4, room 5. And then you have all the players, you know, sitting there and waiting that he finishes. Say, okay, you're building, huh? You're building, huh? Go build. Go build. And then as soon as he's done, they all rush in and say, okay, now is our dungeon. You know? Maybe. I don't know. We can decide that. So I think at the beginning the location should be the location of the starting thingy. So this thing. So this thing should have a...
Just do it!
Just do it! Exactly, you have to do it, boys. Just do it. So the location will be the location of this thing, and the rotation. I think the rotation also should be the rotation of this thing, right? Yeah. So that we may decide if we want to go one direction or the other direction, right? Because we may want to generate in one direction or in another direction. And the scale will be 1, 1, 1. Okay. So this will, what this will do will basically randomize room 1 and room 2 and then put it on top of the random generator position. Let's see if this actually works. Yes, it works. Now it's not very easy to see, but it did it. I can press 2 another time, and if we are lucky, the second room will be spawned on top. Yes, exactly. We have been lucky, and so if the randomizer gives us this room, now we have 2 rooms, one on top of each other. Which is obviously not what we want, but, you know, it's a kind of a beginning. Okay, so this is basically spawn, right, first room, right? This is spawn first room. Basically all of this is spawn first room, right? If we can we make it a bit more compact so it's not that much, you know, like 20 pages. 20 pages just to have a generation of one room. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so this block is spawn first room. Randomized. Now after we spawn the first room, I think we need to set a variable that is saying, right, that is saying that this is actually the first room. So, so we will call it current spawned room, right? This will be the current spawned room. And now we will generate another room from from another array that we will create, and this array will be called common rooms, right? We will have common rooms, and then we will have rare rooms. Right, we'll have common rooms and rare rooms, because rare rooms, I think we will spawn them only sometimes, right? And common rooms at the moment will still be our room 1 and our room 2, but it's fine. I mean, we have 2 rooms. Yeah, so common rooms will be this. And yep. So what we do, we get from this guy. I think we can set also this guy as a variable, because I think would be needed, right? Yeah, let's promote it as a variable. Let's say this guy will be called dungeon generation start position, and we just set it immediately, and so we can then, I mean, for now here is okay, but here I can use my dungeon generation starting position, and we will get from here the common rooms, right? The common rooms. Get common rooms. Get common rooms. So we need the same thing. We need to get the length, and then we need the length -1. Pick one at random. Get. So this is exactly the same stuff. Identical. So we get the length -1, pick one room at random, and then we get from the common rooms, and we do what? And then we spawn. I think we just spawn, yeah. We get one room at random, and then we spawn. And the class is this class, and the position and rotation. Okay, now the position and rotation, I don't think we really care. I think we can I mean, we can originally spawn it there, or we can already calculate the no, we have to calculate it later. So we will spawn it on top of the start position, so they will actually overlap at the beginning, but it's okay. They will actually overlap at the beginning, but it's fine. And then after we spawn it, we will move it, right? And so this will be room 2, and here we need to call this function, but this function we need to change. So let me duplicate it, and this one will be called connect second room, right? Will be called connect second room. And connect second room will take 2 rooms. So connect second room will take this as the second room, and our current spawn room has the room 1, right? And then after this, obviously we will set current spawn room as the second room, and then we can just go back and redo it how many times as we want, right? But let's start with 2. Let's start with 2 and see. But then obviously we need to go back and redo this forever, right? Pick one, pick one, pick one, random, random, random. So this can be a loop of, I can add a loop here of, I don't know, 10 times and see where we get, right? Bringing him stone. Yeah, exactly. If you bring him stone, he will build. Ah, you mean the players. The players like, build your dungeon. Yeah, maybe. You never know. You never know. We can do whatever we want, guys. That's the beauty of this project. We don't have you know, any limitations on what we want to do. We can do whatever we want. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. So let's work a bit on this, because this at the moment is very wrong, right? So this thing was all hard-coded. So I was looking at connection 1, connection 2. We don't want that. So we want to randomly search a connection inside an actor. So for this, I think we need a new function, and the function will be called get random connection, right? Get random connection in room. Get random connection in room, right? And it's taking as an input is taking an actor, room actor, and this is a real actor, so it's not just a class, right? But it's an object reference, so this must be a real guy. And we do something similar to this, but not really like this. So we get component by, we need to get components by class, right? Get components by class, exactly. Where the class is a box collision. It's a box collision component, right? And then same thing, we get the length of this guy. We do a -1, and then we randomize. If I can just copy it. And then we randomize in range between 0 and that, and then pick one connection, and then we get this, right? So we get one of the openings of our room. So we are randomizing between this and this. We randomize. So sometimes will be one. So now that we randomize between that, now that we randomize between that, what do we do? So here we have our connection, right? What do we need of that connection? We need, well, we can return it, I guess, so we can manipulate it as we want. But basically we need the rotation and location, right? So that's what we need. Because in the next part of the code, we use, well, actually this word location is not used, so let me delete it. Let me delete all the stuff that we don't use. This we don't use. I don't want to break it, but I want to make it a bit lighter. Okay, so also this thing we don't use. So we need yeah, we need the connector. So this one we return the connection, and the connection will be of type box collision reference, right? So it is an actual connection guy. Yeah, it is an actual connection guy. Okay, so this should be okay. Now, if this does not have any connections, obviously we have a problem, but I mean, we can say that if this is 0, we give an error, but all our rooms will have at least one connection, right? So now, if I go back here, we get our random connection room from room 1, and we get our random connection in room from room 2, right? And now that we have the 2 connections, we just need to connect this to here and here, right? I think so. I think yes. So there is room 1, right? And there is room 2. And then what do we do? And then after this, we go there, yeah. And then after this, I don't like the it's a bit messy looking. It looks a bit messy, I don't know. All these freaking lines. Maybe like this is looking slightly better, I don't know. Okay. So room 1 connect, room 2 connect, right? And this thing is going here, printing something and returning the... Now, I don't really want it to return anything. I think we should do the rotation here, right? We should do the rotation here. And the rotation is only for the second room. So actually, I think we get this. I think we get this and we do what we need to do, right? So this is the room number 2. And with room number 2, we have to do what we were doing by pressing 1, right? So we need to set the actor rotation, getting his current rotation, and getting this and setting that, right? So we have to do this. Now this will be a bit longer, I guess, and I'm trying to compact it a bit because it's otherwise it's unreadable. What? Okay. So what we want to do, we want to set the rotation of this room to be what? To be the current rotation. I don't think we need this printout, but let's leave it for now. If something breaks, we can. So we want this road. We want room number 2, right? We want the actor rotation on the Z plus this, right? Plus this. And then we want the actor location. And I will probably convert this to C++ in the future, but for now it's okay. Just because if I convert to C++, it will be way faster. But I think the majority of the time anyway will be the spawning of the actual room, right? How will you know when a space is occupied? Very good question. So we will do an overlap check. So actually we are moving the room there, and then we do an overlap check to see if the room overlaps with the other. And if he overlaps, we will try another room, maybe smaller. And if it still overlaps after 4 or 5 tries, we will choose another connection, right? So the algorithm is basically, spawn a room, right? Check the possible connection, spawn another room, check the possible connections, spawn another room, imagine that this one has this and maybe has another one here, right? Check the possible connections. And so if we select this one, which is actually part of this room, and this one doesn't match with the other, right? And so it will overlap, right? We try to spawn here something 1 or 2 times, but it will overlap. And so we give up this one. So this one will be considered unusable. And this one will be considered unusable. And so we continue from here, right? Now, I think there may be some cases that we will have to check. Like, for example, the one that I just draw now is already a kind of a special case, right? Because the wall is actually touching the wall. And so you will see here kind of an entrance. So we have to think a bit about it. But I think in general, it should be fine. I think it will be fine. We just need to refine it, you know. We will have to refine it a bit, but I'm very positive that this is gonna work. I'm very positive, and it's really thanks to the plugin that we bought, right? You remember that we bought yesterday? No, it was not yesterday. 2 days ago, whatever. We bought a dungeon generator, and that dungeon generator gave me very good ideas, right? And that idea is taken from there. So I think even if we are not going to use any, I mean, at the moment we are not using anything of that plugin that we bought, but there were a lot of good ideas that I took from there, right? Actually, this one that we are building, I think is really way better than the one that is in that plugin, because it was using levels and it was using kind of hard-coded stuff, so it was not really good. We use actors, we have dynamic connections, we can have connections in any point of the room, so you can put a, if you want, you know, you can put a connection here, right, at the top. And here you could even put a connection here. but it will not work because then you will need a different type of rooms, right? So the vertical movement will be done within a room. So you can have a room that is made, if you look from the side, you would have a room that is made like this, right? Which is like a cave. And here there is a door, here there is a door. And here will be your first connection, and this will be the second connection. So what's in between, we don't care, right? It can be any height, any location. Yeah. So our system is very flexible because you can build any level without any fixed connection points. While what the guy did in the plugin, he had very hard-coded connection points that you couldn't move. And that is very, very limiting. Plus he had this weird idea of levels, and which I think is a super stupid idea, but anyway. He had very good ideas and very bad ideas. Okay, so I think that this should basically do, well, I mean, if I connected everything, this should basically already connect room number 1 with room number 2, starting from nothing. I don't know, I have to try. I don't know where we are actually, but okay, let me press 2. Ha! Yes. He selected room 2 and room 2. Right? So this is something we need to consider, right? That he selected 2 times the room number 2. Now I cannot go in, unfortunately, but these are 2 rooms, right? That are facing each other. So in the middle there is the, well, I can put the player start. Wait, I can put the player start in the same location. Let's put the player start. What is the player start? No idea. Player start? Oh, it's there. Let's put the player start in the same location of the dungeon start. Now, maybe a bit higher than that, so that we... So if that happens again, right, we will be inside the room. We will be inside the room. It actually happened again. It actually happened again, so he randomized room 2, room 2. Okay, so let's do it again. I like the fact that it's adapting slowly. Okay, this time he selected room 1 and room 2. And in terms of connection, he actually selected the side connection instead of the front connection. So you see that he built it this way, right? Which is different. So if I run it again, we have one more possibility. Well, we have more than. So now we are still in the small room, but this time, okay, this time is again room 2, room 2. But anyway, okay, so I can run it again, and just to prove the fact that is randomizing, right? This time is selected as the first room, the biggest one, and then he connected here the 1-1, right? This looks like the exit of the dungeon, right? This is how you imagine the exit of the dungeon to be. Like with the bright light and like you have found the exit. Yeah, in this level we have the eye adaptation, which actually I disabled in plane shift. I mean, it's very thin, so Basically, your eyes adapt to the light. So like our pupil, because our eyes does that in real life, right? So if you are looking at the darkness, is adapting to the darkness and then is becoming better. But then if you look there, it's super bright, right? But anyway, okay. So I think it works. It works. It works. It works. So we changed it to the point that it actually works. So now, if we want, right? If we want, we can generate more rooms, and it's very easy because I can just put a for loop. I can just say, so now we are saying, no, I don't need it here. I need it here, right? So we can say, so this basically is spawn other rooms. But here is where we need to start thinking about the algorithm, right? Because we need to close the exits, right, that are not used. We need to put a wall over a door that is not used. So basically what we will do, we will put a wall here, right, in between, so that this will look like a closed exit. So there will be a wall, and or we can have a number of different endings, right? We have an endings with a niche, an endings with a plant, an endings with a drawing, an ending that is just a pure wall. I mean, we can decide what we want, right? So we can have, yeah, so I think we will have an ending array as well in our generator. And maybe it's the next thing that we do, because I think actually we need it now. So, and there is more to do because we need to keep track of all the connections that we are now using, right? And all of that, but yeah. Well, let's go step by step. So let's say that we want to generate 10 rooms, right? Maybe we can put the number in the generator here, right? So we can add a new variable that is called number of rooms, right? Number of rooms. And this is actually just an integer. And if we can put it at the top would be nice, yes. And for example, we say 5, right? We say 5. Now, one problem that we have is that one of our rooms is actually an ending, right? And that may mess up everything, because again, if we start with 2 rooms that are closing each other, right, that will not work. What about the statue of Tala to click your way out? That would be nice. You can have a small statue, yeah. It can be a statue here in the niche. Yeah. For sure. Absolutely. I mean, or, you know, we can change this and just add another exit, right? Because at the moment, this room is actually a closed, I mean, it's like an ending. I think we have to separate the endings from the, normal room, from the connecting rooms. Because, you know, you can choose an ending only if you have more than one connection left. Otherwise, you end the algorithm, right? I mean, we can quickly create another room, right? We can, yeah, let's create another room because I think we need it. So we copy room number 2, and we create a room that actually has, it's just a corridor, right? It's just a connecting corridor. So this wall becomes an off wall, and then we duplicate door 1, that becomes a door 2, and we rotate it 180. Okay, so now this room is basically just a 1-1 that is just going through, right? So this is room number 3. So in our dungeon, we can say that the common rooms include room 1 and room 3, right? I would exclude room 2 for a second, and then we create another variable array, which is ending rooms. I don't know if I want to call it ending rooms, but I think yes. I think we need to know when we are closing the dungeon, right? When we are, because we have to do it only if I don't know how the guy was doing it. We can go and check, you know, what was his logic. No, this must be an actor class reference. An actor class reference array. And at the moment, the only ending room that we have is room number 2. So we can use it later on, right? Okay, so now we do a for loop. So we say for each, no, not for each. We do a for loop. Yes, that starts from 0 and goes up to, no, starts from 1 and goes up to my dungeon number of rooms, right? My number of rooms. So I go from 0 to my number of rooms, and what I should do, and I randomize the common room, and I spawn my actor, and I connect it, and after I connect it, I set the new room as the current spawn room. Yes, I think this may work already. Do you want to see it? Boom. Okay. So the first room is actually the biggest room. And he decided to... Oh wow, we're going 2 directions. What the fuck? In theory it's impossible. I didn't tell him to do this. We're going in 2 directions is not possible. Ah, because maybe he went all the way around. Okay, so no, it didn't. Huh? Why is dark here? Uh-oh, I think it generated it wrong. Why I cannot see anything? Wait a second. Do we still have the directional light? Yeah, we still have the directional light. Why there was one room without light? I mean, room 3 has a light, right? Let me add a bit of a skylight to this thing so that we have some indirect light. Because at the moment we are completely in darkness, and I don't know if it's a good idea. But it was strange. One of the rooms was completely empty. Like, I mean, like this one, right? What the hell is this? Ah, because the light is on the other side? Huh? No, this didn't work, huh? One. Well, maybe because it's generating... because it's generating them one on top of each other. And so we are cutting off the light. You know? Yeah, we are cutting off the light area. Okay, I understand. So we need to do the overlap check. There is no way. We have to do the overlap check. Because yes, and we also need to keep a list of all the available connections, because if the overlap fails, we need to know, you know, how many connections, I mean, what other connections we can use. Let me just generate it one or two more times just for fun, because I want to see. I think he may be able to generate a valid one, right? Yeah, exactly. Like, well, what the fuck? No, we have a problem. We have a problem with the... Why? I mean, the first two are correct, right? So he connected the 1-1 to the 2-1, right? No, to another 1-1. So he connected 1-1 with another. But then he generated this, and he fucked up completely. So the third room was not correct. Why the third room is not correct? Why the third room is not correct? So I do for loop, right? And I spawn the second. Then I connect the currently spawned, which I set here, so the first, right? I connect the first with the second. Then when this function is completed, because there is a function, so it will wait the completion and it will go here, right? When this function is completed, it's taking the room number 2 and is making it, right, the room number 1. So the currently spawned room, right? And so it goes back to the loop. It goes back to the loop. It selects a random common room, right? Another random common room. And it is spawning it in the location of the dungeon start. Then it's taking this one that we have set here as room 1 and this one as room 2, and it's connecting them. Yeah, in theory it should work. I don't understand why. I don't understand why the third room is not connected, right? I mean, I hope he's waiting the completion of this, because if he's not waiting the completion of this, it's GG. Well, we can move this inside this function. Yeah, let's do that. Which is a bit safer, actually. So inside of this function, before going out, we set the current room being room 2, but I think it's the same, because being a function should not make a difference. But let's try this way. There is any way safer. But it's basically not able to connect the third room, which is kind of weird. Uh-oh, I'm in complete darkness. What? Yeah, we have the third we have the third room that sorry, I need to drink something. Can we make our player not colliding? I think I can make my player not colliding, so we can go through doors. We can go through walls. Exactly. This will be a bit easier. So we can go through walls actually now, if we want. No, we cannot. Why we cannot? Why? I mean, we have the problem of the overlap, but I think we also have the problem of the fact that the room 3 is not properly... No, wait, I need to be able not to collide, because if I collide it's annoying. Collision component, collision preset, no collision, mesh component, no collision, no collision, no collision, no collision, thank you. And then we go number of rooms 3, because we already have the problem with 3 rooms, right? We have the problem with 3 rooms. Can I go through walls? Yes, I can. Okay, let me see what it... I mean, there is still this problem of overlapping, right? But apart from the overlapping... we need to do the overlap, I guess. We need to do the overlap thing too, because otherwise it's not understandable. I think now he placed one room on top of each other. Go in this direction. But the problem is when he generated the second room completely separate. I mean, that was very bad. That was super bad. Okay, let's do the overlap thing, because without the overlap we cannot, I mean, we cannot really understand what it's doing. So how do we do that? I think we should check the other project, because the other project was doing it, right? I think it was Dungeon Generation 3. Let me see if it was this one. I think it was this one, right? Dungeon Generator, demo, play, generate dungeon. Yeah, exactly. So you see how when it generates, how it's trying things, and if something doesn't work, it tries again, right? Like there, right? You see that it's trying, and if it doesn't fit, it generates again, right? So yeah, so I need to understand this overlap thing. I need to understand. I need to understand this logic, right? Just to see if there is something good that we can use here. Initialize. What is initialize doing? Loading game from slot, loading from save. I mean, we don't really care about this. It's creating all the room structures. Okay, I mean, it is fine. The init is just to clean up all the structures. And but then after this is resetting the variables. Okay, fine. And then is doing the build spawn. So I think this is probably build spawn, create instance of what, and the spawn room, init level. I think init level is probably going through all the rooms. Should be visible. Yeah, so he is doing this, and I think we should do this as well. So it's basically instead of searching the next room connection, he's keeping a list of all the available connection and is randomizing on them, right? Which I think is a good idea. So I think we can do the same. You see, he's getting a room possible connections, and then he's adding them to that. And then at a certain point, I mean, this quarantine. I don't understand what is this quarantine, but fine. So you see, here is spawning the room. He's waiting for the room to be loaded, because in this case it's a level, right? So it's a bit of a different thing. So we don't need that. And then he's doing this: get collision result. Get collision result. So he's trying to understand if get collision result. Get collision result. So we need to search this. Room collider, dungeon builder, small canvas, large canvas. Get collision result. He's doing just this. He's doing get overlapping actors. Okay, that's very easy. Get overlapping actors. That's very good. This is very nice. It is a very good function. So we can do the same. We can get overlapping actors. So after we spawn, you know what is the problem? Is that the connection points will overlap. But do you think we can exclude them? If it's only the overlap, yeah, exactly. So I think we can do this, and then we can check if the if the second room has any overlapping actors. And we can print them just to understand, right? We can print what are these actors just to understand, but get overlapping actors by class. If set only returns actors of this class. This is very nice. Yes, static mesh, please. Static mesh. Yep. This is very good. It is very good. So we already filter out any particles, any box collision, any other stuff, right? So it is very good. And we can say if the length of this is greater than 0, right? If it's greater than 0, then we loop. But in reality, this will already tell us, this will already tell us if it's overlapping or not. So so maybe we print out something and say overlaps, Let's say overlaps. Maybe we make it stay on screen 5 seconds because 2 seconds is really too little. And if it doesn't, we can say it does not overlap. So we can say no overlaps. And also 5 seconds, yes. And then if we overlap, I think we can print out the name of the, right? We can print out the name of the overlapping component. It will be a component, but so basically when that happens, hello Arirare, hey. How do you pronounce your name, by the way? And let me ask you another question. Is your name just randomly generated within the game? So you got that? Because it looks like a random generated one. But maybe not. Okay, so we do this. It is from the game? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was imagining that. I was not paying attention. Did we see any overlap? No overlap? Oh, but this time it generated something meaningful actually. Why this time it worked? I have no idea. Well, it's still overlapping though. So you see that he selected probably. Wait, let me redo it. Let me redo it. No overlap, no overlap, no overlap. Well, that's not true. That is really not true. Because we have 2 rooms, one inside the other. Ay. Is it because the default collision? Wait, because obviously. I mean, there is a problem, and the problem is that. Generate overlap events. Generate overlap events is true. And at the moment, the collision preset is block all dynamics. So yeah, is blocking everything, but overlap is false. I can do custom, and I can also. So is one or the other? Well, if it's one or the other, I assume that block is also overlap, no? Do you agree? By the way, which kind of collision do we have here? Yeah, each piece has its own collision. Yeah, it should it should overlap. Why saying air, okay. No, but air is wrong because it's Ari. Is Ari. Ari like Arianna. Arianna, you know? Arianna. Arianna. Which is an Italian name, by the way. Arianna. No, actually it's a Greek name. But, so is Ari. To me, Ari is Arianna. Ari and then Riare. So it's basically the butt of Arianna. So it's basically Arianna butt. No, I'm sorry. I just ruined your name completely forever. Because it's Riar, right? It's Ari Riar. Ari Riar. Ari Riar. E. Ari Riar E. Anyway. So for some reason we are not generating the overlaps. I don't know if we are overlapping only with, because sometimes objects tend to overlap only with characters and not with other word pieces, right? But you can decide this here, I guess, right? You can decide if this is, yeah, word static, word dynamic, exactly. So we say that we are word dynamic, no? But I don't know exactly the object itself. I mean the actual actor that we spawn, if it's overlapping. Strange. Do we have any parameters on the overlapping thingy? Get overlapping actor, static mesh. Let me remove this filter. Let me say none, right? So that we get all the possible overlaps, because I think that maybe we are filtering. No overlaps, no overlaps, no overlaps. And it's absolutely false. And it's absolutely false. Because it's overlapping like a boss. No overlap, no overlap, no overlap. We may do another test. Let me do another test for a second. So maybe if we press another button, we can check the overlap. So let me say, if we press 3, right? If we press 3, we... Yeah, but it's a bit annoying. How do I do this? I can do it by tag. Yeah, I can do it by tag. I can do get actor by tag. And I can say 1. And then we can do the same with 2. So I can put 2 things. So we can test what we want, right? 1 and 2. So I want to get the overlapping actors. There is also get overlapping components. But we want overlapping actors. We don't want overlapping components, I guess. Because overlapping geometry with other geometry. So if we place like, I don't know, a plane and not even a plane. If you place two cylinders, right? If you place a cylinder here and we call it 1. And we place another cylinder that is overlapping with him, right? It is like this, yeah. And we call him 2. And then we start and I press the number 3. Where are the cylinders, bro? Ah, they are there. Holy moly. Okay, I was on the wrong side of the light. And here I press 3. You see that it's saying no overlaps? It's saying no overlaps. It is actually pretty bad. Where the hell are my cylinders? I placed them in an impossible place. I cannot even find them. Ah, they are down there? Wow. They are kilometers away from me. Okay, now they should be like in front or close by. Well, not really. I cannot place them. Okay, but anyway, we can see them if I scroll a bit. So these two guys are saying no overlaps, right? Why they are saying no overlaps? Let me see their collision. But these guys are already spawned. Obviously, the other guys are not. But so if I go collision here, what does it say? Collision preset default. If I do overlap all, right? And I try again, it's still saying no overlaps. It's still saying no overlaps? What the fuck? No overlaps? GG! It's not working at all! Generate overlap events. Okay, maybe it is in this. Generate overlap events. GG! No overlaps? What do you mean no overlaps? How can you say no overlaps? Look! 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 No overlaps. No overlaps. Okay, let's print out the object name just to be sure that it's getting the object, because maybe it's not. Maybe it's not getting the objects. I think it is getting the objects, by the way. I think it is. I think it is getting the objects. So we can print out the names of the two guys. We can print the names of what? Of this and this. Print the name of this and print the name of this. And we do the same. We do the same here. Print the name of this and print the name of this. Okay. I mean, fine. No overlaps cylinder and cylinder 2. No overlaps cylinder and cylinder 2. Stupid machine crashed right as you were reading my message. Much better. So I probably missed all that as I went to pick my manager by the station. Anyway, I see you are on it. No overlaps occurs when entering the space and the other, and it just exists. Yeah, but look at these two cylinders. Ah, I understand what you mean. Okay, if that's true, and it is probably true, Marcelo, thank you for that. We can just do it with a bounding box. That is probably true, because the overlap happens when you. Yeah, you are very right. You are very, very, very right. It happens only when they move. But we can do it with a bounding box then. We can say. But then, why this guy was doing it this way then? I don't know. I copied it from that guy project, right? He's using this. I don't know. That's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. But yes, I think you are very right. And so we can do another thing. We can get the bounding box. Get actor bounds. Right? And we can get the other actor bounds. And then we can generate the overlap ourselves. We can check the overlap ourselves, right? Get actor bound only colliding component. We only return the bounding box for components with collision enabled. No. I want all the at this point. Let's get all the components and GG. So how do we check if these two boxes are overlapping? Unreal, how to check two box extends overlap. Box overlap actor returns the algorithm to check if two boxes overlap. Yes. Ready to use one line is overlap. Is this Unreal or what? No, this is not Unreal. Ready to use one line is overlapping if x minimum less than x maximum and x minimum. Isn't there just an overlap something? Box overlaps actor. Return an array of actors that overlap the given aligned axis box. Box overlaps actors. No, but I would like to box overlap my shit. Box overlaps actors. Maybe this one is doing it. Maybe this one is doing it. So wait, that is the return value. I just need to call it finally some nice spaghetti code. Okay. What he needs? Object types to ignore. I don't know. Object types. Object types. War static. Make array.
What is this? Spaghetti code?
Exactly. What is this? I think war static is okay, or war dynamic. Well, let's do war static and war dynamic. I think we should get them both. So now if I press 3, overlaps. Ah, okay. So this is probably enough. This is enough. So we get the extent of one box and we see if he overlaps. Yeah, but now let me see what he overlaps with, because overlaps. 1 second. Overlaps with what? I want a list of these guys. I want a list of these guys. I can copy this actually. I want a list of all the ones that are overlapping. Overlaps cylinder 1, cylinder 2. Cylinder 2. I mean, he overlaps with himself. What do you mean? I mean, he found himself. Ah, yes, he found himself because actually he's okay. We have to ignore self, right? We have to ignore ourselves. So I'm asking to the cylinder 1 now who is overlapping with, and he's saying cylinder 2. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we have the overlap thingy. The problem is that today I cannot really go. I have to go, guys. But I think we made very good progress. So what we did tonight, we changed we migrated the project from 5.3 to 5.1 so that we have it compatible with our system. And we figured out, well, we basically recreated all parametric so that now can use parametric number of rooms and all of that. You can also go from one to the other, and such. And I think that it seems that we have a problem with the third one for whatever reason, but we will figure it out. And now we sorted out a bit of the overlapping thing. So... by the way, I think I can just overlap the first and that would be enough. So I just need to overlap one guy. I don't need to overlap, So I can just do this. So one guy is enough. And so now we need to. So the next steps for tomorrow will be to actually use this overlap to detect if the room is actually overlapping. And then choose another room in case, or choose another connection, right? I don't know if we should choose another room or if we choose another connection. Then I don't know. I will have to think about it. But I think we need to write down a small algorithm. I think we need to write down a small algorithm to understand what we want, how we want the actual logic to work. But I think I like the fact that we have starting rooms, we have common rooms, we have ray rooms, and we have ending rooms, right? And so we can close the dungeon with an ending level, which I think is good. I can check more of the logic of this guy. What he's doing with it, I can see, but I think we can create our own logic. I think is probably better at the end. Okay, step by step. Step by step, guys. Okay, so thank you for watching, and if you want to click on follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube, that would be nice. Also, it is free. And remember that we have a Patreon site available, and we also have a Reddit now. If you want to go to Reddit and check the stuff that is getting posted. I didn't check it in a bit, but like someone was posting someone was posting that the boss was killed. Very nice. Very nice. And there is an event recap. Nice. Nice. And also remember that our game is released, right? So you can download it now. So if you want to play it, just click on download now in our website and you will be able to play it. And with that, I'm going to say bye-bye. Have a good night. Have a good night.